For today's game tip, we're going to be talking about the rules that say something like J is before K or J is before M, but not both. And essentially I call these the or but not both patterns. And there's two things that can happen with these, and we're going to talk about the pattern for each and how you can really quickly get through these rules without having to process them all over again. Now, what we have is in the top scenario, I've listed 4 different ways that they will list a pattern where it is saying before K or before M, but not both. And if you notice, the last example says J is after K or after M, but not both. Now, the thing about this is it doesn't really matter whether it says before or whether it says after, as long as the two words are matching. So if we have before and before, or after and after, as long as you have that same word that's being used with regard to both, then what happens is J has to be in the middle. And our rule is matching equals middle. So that's the way you can remember it. Matching starts with M, middle starts with M. And so what that means is you're going to have J in the middle, so you would either have K before J, which is then before M. As you can see, J's in the middle. Or, and I just use a double slash to show that there's a separate option, M before J, which is before K. And I would, in most all of these cases, just end up running out those two possibilities. Now that one's pretty easy. Remember, the way to remember it is matching equals middle. They both start with M. If the two words match, it's in the middle, and it doesn't really matter what the two words are. So then below, I have some examples of where the words don't match. So you'll notice here we have a before, and then we have an after. And we show in the last example left of, right of. Just so that you know, in the above example, you could have exchanged those for higher number, lower number, left of, right of, east of, west of. As long as the words match, it's always going to be in the middle. Now, I think it's a little trickier when the words don't match. But if we follow our pattern here, the rule here is when it's not matching, then J is not middle. So matching is middle, not matching is not middle. And so not matching, not middle. And what that means is if you only have 3 things and you're not in the middle, well, then you're either first or you're last. So the pattern here is that in any of these cases, J would come before both of K and M, or J would be after both of K and M. And so those would be our 2 patterns. And that's going to happen anytime the words don't match. So all you have to do is really check to see, do the words match or not match? And then you can quickly just draw up whichever one of these patterns exists. And this will save you a lot of time. You're seeing these rules fairly regularly, especially once you get above about test number 50. You'll start to see this with a little more frequency. And so being able to save that time and quickly just assess is going to make things easier for you. So hopefully that tip helps, and you can check back to find more tips each day.